What's up, guys? Craig here. As you can see, I'm inside tonight. It has, for the past week here in the Northeast, it's felt like we're in John Carpenter's The Thing with the Arctic blast here. So I'm recording inside. And tonight's the Super Bowl. I'm not a football fan at all. So let's talk about something complete opposite. I want to talk to you about Eraserhead. A little over a year ago, us film buffs lost a beloved character in American cinema, David Lynch. Not only for the quirkiness of his films, but the quirkiness of the man himself. You know, he was a weirdo, surreal, Americana down home artist with all that together, as if Salvador Dali had been born in Montana instead of Spain. And his first film, Eraserhead, is, without question, the greatest student film of all time. I mean, it's a debut that you just can't top. It's just so weird, so wonderfully creative that I want to talk about it. I love this movie. Now, I hadn't seen this movie in like 20 years since I was back in college. I actually watched it recently for the anniversary of Lynch's death. And how do you talk about this film? There's not really a plot. It's about a man who becomes a father, and it's basically his anxiety about it. That's basically the whole movie. There's not a lot of acting. It's by one character. It's basically one character. The girl impregnated, her family, and the woman across the hall in his doorway, and the woman in the radiator. I'll get to back there if anybody hasn't seen what that means. So spoilers ahead. And the movie is, so it's not focusing on plot or anything. It's focusing on the art. This is an art house film. Don't go into this expecting an ABC. This happens, but then this happens. This is all about the style. I brought up Salvador Dali. If him and Louis Buñuel, creators of Unchi and Angelo, the greatest silent surrealist film, had been born as baby boomers and lived in college in the 70s, this is the film they would have made. So, like I said, it's about a man who gets his girl pregnant and he becomes a father. And it's just dealing with his anxiety, the isolation, and all the symbolism and comes into that. You have this baby and it's completely deformed. Just completely. It looks like a baked ham almost on this long, skinny turkey body. Like his turkey neck connected to this baked ham. And it's just sick and gagging and it's just driving him crazy. And the main character is just walking around in a daze. He's completely passive, like the most uninteresting person imaginable. He just cannot deal with any of this. He's attracted to the woman across the hallway and he's having fantasies about it, but he never really does anything. And you get all this psycho-sexual imagery throughout the whole thing. The movie starts with a setup of 2001: A Space Odyssey with the Star Child, the very famous end of it, where his head is floating sideways crossing into the moon, and then you see this long snake-like thing going, obviously a symbol of pregnancy, you know, fertilizing the egg, the sperm. And it breaks, and you got this guy working in this machine shop. And that machine shop is important because it takes place in Philadelphia. Lynch was inspired by his time living in Philadelphia, and there's just this industrial grime and grit through the whole thing, where you're just suffocating not only physically from the sight of all of this darkness, but the sound. There's a constant, like almost machinery constantly going through the soundtrack the whole time that drives you crazy. And when he's alone, and it shows the isolation of him. So in the scenes when he's alone in his bedroom, where most of the movie takes place, you just hear this wind blowing the whole time, showing his isolation as he's dealing with this baby. Now this baby is hideous. Like I say, it's like a ham on a turkey neck. It's just hideous looking. Like it's like this. And you're going through this, you're just obsessed with this imagery with this baby. I mean, Lynch famously, in my opinion, has the greatest jump scare of all time in Mulholland Drive. This one's good too because the baby gets sick and you hear coughing and it looks fine because the lights are off. Then as soon as he turns, it's like freckled, just spots all over, like measles all over the thing and just hacking. And the girl he's with moves out. The girl he impregnated, who gave him the baby, moves out. She can't take it anymore. She runs away, so he's stuck with the baby. So you get all this tension of the mind. It's not tension as like you're afraid something's going to happen. Nothing really happens to him, but it's mentally and emotionally just tension filled because he's just dying. You can tell this bland, ordinary man cannot handle everything that's going on. But at the same time, the movie is uproariously funny. This dinner table scene where he meets her family, I was bust gut laughing. It opens up and they're having dinner, and the father brings out this tiny little turkey about the size of this remote. And it's like, oh, this is a new industrial turkey. His legs start moving, and he's cutting it, starts bleeding, and they're like, ooh, this looks so good. And then when the mother finds out the daughter's pregnant, he brings her into another room. She brings the main character in another room, and she starts hitting him, starting to kiss him. I almost fell off the couch laughing. It's just little moments like this where you combine the tension and the humor, which seems to be Lynch's specialty. And the most famous scene, we have to talk about the most famous scene, which is Lady in the Radiator. Now, even if you haven't seen Eraserhead, you've seen this image of this almost, bonnet-haired, almost overweight woman with these cheeks like the moon, like these obsessed cheeks that are the size of the moon. They look like the moon at the beginning. And she's just singing, in heaven, in heaven. And this is his sexual fantasy. Again, it's all about the imagery, especially then when the title, spoiler, his head falls off through the ground. The kid brings it to this machine shop where it's turned into an eraser on the head of a pencil. And it cuts back at the end to the same man at the beginning working the machinery. It's just film you have to see. I really haven't done it justice because Lynch's symbolism is something people have done hour-long videos on. I just wanted to tell you to see this movie. It's been a year. We probably won't see an artist like him again in American cinema, the way modern movies are made. But check this movie out for something that's so out there, so different from the corporate ABC plot structure made by committee films we are stuck with today from Hollywood. This was his student film when he was at the American Film Institute, and it's just an incredible student film to see. This is the untapped power of creativity right here. Watch to inspire you. You want to make movies like this. All right? And once again, he who controls the imagination controls the world.